Chapter 8. Little Girl. Her bushy red pigtails shifted stiffly in the small breeze coming through the open attic window where she was perched. She scrunched her gently freckled face as she breathlessly watched the scene in the yard in front of her. Her chubby little legs took each step up the ladder by route. It's her favorite spot. No one cares that she walks across the puffed pads of asbestos that lay uncovered between the rafters of the roof in the unfinished attic. In the past, she would try to snuggle the pink puffs as she lay crying from having run so fast to get away. At the time, when she finally made it up the ladder to the attic, all of her strength was depleted. Panting, she would fall to the wadding of insulation and smash her face into it out of anger and rage. It stung and itched her face. She wasn't sure what she was so angry about. Was it that she was small or that her Uncle Pete would rip her hair? Only she cares. It was quiet and dark and safe up there. The attic was a world away from the screams and blows and whimpering and breathing. She could go to the place that made her happy. She could see the rooftops of houses where good people lived, people that didn't hit or bite. Her mommy was huddled in the corner of the kitchen on the floor when Petal leaves the downstairs world for her upstairs sanctuary. So mommy can't care that Petal takes her bread in her mouth like a puppy and climbs the ladder. She is used to hearing herself talked about. When she makes it to her spot, the bread falls and Petal pulls up a pink cottony tuft along with the white batting like bread. She eats both as the pink goes unnoticed under her tiny fingertips. Underneath her nails, there are dark green lines from looking for scraps of food in the natural, late summer compost of leaves in the backyard. Uncle Pete is very angry. Ever since Daddy left, he's been here taking up Daddy's space. "I'm your daddy, Petal. I named you. You have my name," says Uncle Pete. She has only known this Uncle Pete since Daddy is not around anymore. Uncle Pete has been here helping out all the time. Really, all the time. He never leaves the house. If he needs more sunflower seeds, Mommy goes and gets them from the gas station. Petal doesn't think Uncle Pete should be touching Mommy that way and rubbing her. Maybe he is sorry for puncturing her. Mommy has told Petal to never let anyone touch her body unless it's Mommy or Daddy for bath time. But Daddy is gone, and bath time is a rarity. Daddy won't come back, Petal reminds herself, because when you die, you don't have any more days left. She knows it from when Pickles died. They dug a hole in the tiny square past the fence in the backyard. Petal would think to go look for a new square patch, to check if Daddy might be there, next to Pickles, but she never does. Petal has days left, today. It is her day. This morning when she snuck out of the living room, she gave the budgie some seeds she saw on the floor in front of the blanket she sleeps on. Uncle Pete had flicked them at her while she slept when Mommy had asked for a new sweatpants set for Petal. Petal hadn't heard the conversation or seen the look of irritation the night before, nor did she hear the protests. "For the love of money, how much does this brat cost us every week? You feed her all day long. She's fat. You want her fat? Fine. Then you'll see her stupid clothes won't fit." But Petal sees the seeds as an offering of love the next day. They must have been laid there strategically by Uncle Pete, near her eyes and nose, so that she would be sure to see them as soon as she woke up today. He must be sorry for hurting her again, she thinks. Last night she didn't know how long she stood waiting to be told what job to do next for her uncle. Uncle Pete must have fallen asleep eating seeds. His 4 limbs were sprawled on each corner of the only love seat in the house. The earth shade of brown matched the present color of the mangy carpet that even Petal knew not to sit on, for fear of the countless insects that infested it and crawled the entire spans of the room. Beetles in particular seemed not to like to crawl on the blanket she slept on, and Petal was happy about that. Petal doesn't like bugs. She screamed as the 1.5 inches of one flew past her to land on the TV screen. Petal looks over at her uncle just in time to see him flick a giant roach off his chest toward her. He laughs. She screams. She runs blindly toward the light spewing from the kitchen. Everywhere Uncle Pete keeps to is dark. He's here now. The whole house is dark. Pete thinks his sister Dawn has done a good job with Petal so far. This has been an incredible year of great events for Pete. Things are finally looking up now that he's helping out at his sister's house. He can now toss the keys to the abandoned green van he's been staying in for the past 5 years. He can stop hiding the fact that Petal is his daughter, who looks so much like him and his sister despite the deformities and uneven, strange gait she has. Petal will be homeschooled by her parents now anyway. No one would make fun of her at home. Of course not. Petal is ready to come down from hiding in the attic. There's no real place to sit up there either. You wouldn't think the pink puffs would itch the back of her legs like they did, but they do. So she got tired of crouching on the narrow wooden beams. Her tiny hands ache at the pressure points where she presses down to support her weight as she stares out the window. She watches as a bird flies directly to the center of her yard, landing in the weeds. It has a present for her, she thinks to herself. A lovely red string. First seeds, now this? She glares at Whiskers, now stalking the bird through the tall weeds. No, Whiskers, no, she whispers frantically. Whiskers lunges for the bird, misses, and instead instantly takes to batting at the string the bird has deserted. Whiskers rolls and rolls over the string as it makes its way around Whiskers' legs and trunk. As the cat rolls, Petal laughs quietly. The string is frayed and tattered, but to Petal, it is beautiful. It has been through a lot. Petal sees a black and white puppy appear suddenly from out of nowhere. She has never seen such a cute puppy with a pouting snout. Petal laughs again and is delighted when she sees the puppy come into the yard. She tells the puppy how cute it is and then how she lost her own sweet doggie when a car hit it. Petal tells the puppy how she saw the whole thing and what a terrible day it was when her doggie died under the car tires. Petal throws the puppy some of her bread and promises to come down in a minute to play.